what the leaders in the region want is actually for us to take measures that will frustrate cross-border trade, not hamper it, but to do it in a manner that also does not cause problems. And that is what usually is discussed at the level of the heads of state. Below the heads of state is for us to see how we can implement that requirement. And that's why we are doing what we are doing. And we are doing it also, we have discussed it with the counterparts in Tanzania, in Kenya, and also in the region, to discuss how we are implementing this. Because over 80% of our goods go through Dar es Salaam. When we were discussing with my counterpart, the Minister of Transport, Minister Kamwerwe of Tanzania, and also the people who are in charge of the Truck Owners Association from Tanzania, and our own private sector federation and association of transporters, what we are saying is that we want to make the whole system as comfortable as possible and to iron out any issues. There were many issues that were coming from Tanzania, which we had to resolve, and now actually is paying almost dividends. One of them, as you rightly mentioned, they were saying, one of their requests was, can we use our own drivers? Because usually drivers, you don't come and get a work permit from another country because you have so many drivers in the country. But now we are saying, if you bring your goods up to the border, in a place called Ikianzi, which is near, as you saw the place, we are saying you can bring your own driver, comes to Rwanda, is tested, and then he can reside here and given a temporary work permit to be able to do that journey. Because this is your driver that you know, you are very comfortable, then you can be able to always bring the goods for you, and then you stay at the border. Because the other person lives here and has been tested, and they are regularly tested, then we are comfortable that whenever he comes here and interacts with people, he's okay. But for the other one who we don't have to keep here, we don't want him to have any problems or for him to cause any problem, if any, because you don't know who has it and who doesn't have it. And for the sake of protecting even those drivers that are coming from Dar es Salaam, we want to make sure that they stay at a certain place, but they could have their own driver. The second issue which they brought was the issue of toll road. Usually, if it is a truck from another country and you are using our roads here, you have to pay, because we invest in the roads, construction. So you have to pay something in terms of using those roads. So we call them the toll road. So they usually pay $152 whenever they enter the country. But here we said, because you are not coming to Kigali and you are bringing the truck up to the border there, then we have waived that $152. So that made them comfortable. And then they were saying, okay, if we came, I can decide, should I go where you organized for me to stay, or I can have other options. We told them it is very simple. You may want to wait from across the border in Tanzania, and you have a vehicle that takes you there, so that you can wait. When the truck comes back from Kigali, you can always come back. Or some of them, they prefer, say, well, I'll stay in my truck overnight until, for a certain period of time. We said, that's okay. But if you want to stay there, also the government is going to help you. So we gave them several options, and they are very happy about that. Some of them said, can we bring also the trucks that can continue with our goods going inside? I said, no problem. But these goods are brought, they are Tanzanian trucks, but they are being brought for the Rwandan client. So normally when you take the truck from Rusumo to here, for example, the person who is your client is only responsible for that. So there is no risk at all because you are bringing it for the client. So that way then the client takes responsibility. So then we discussed it and we found actually there were no other risks. Even yesterday, we were there discussing with all of them, including our transporters, who are through Sumo. So we have addressed most of the issues that were coming up. And at the same time, we are also in discussion with Tanzania to see if there is anything else that can be improved. We are not working alone, we are working with our Tanzanian counterparts to see what can be improved, and at the same time talking with others in the region to see how we could have something uniform and how to make it work, and what are the constraints, how do we iron them out. So we are working together to see how we can achieve what our heads of state wanted us to achieve in terms of making sure that we continue with the cross-border trade, but we do it in a manner that does not cause any kind of risk.